For the black population in Tuskegee, Alabama in the 1930s, the government that had fought for their freedom was the biggest beacon of light in their lives. When the syphilis study began in 1932, that trust was betrayed by the United States for 40 years until 1972. Not only were the 600 men who were subjects betrayed, but also the less talked about wives and their children. It is up to the living to let their story be told.
I have two family members who are directly descended from study subjects. One well, they're both cousins. I have copies of records where names of wives and children have been redacted, and it's weird because when you look at that piece of paper, you see these names blacked out. It just almost punctuates the fact that they were forgotten about in terms of the risk that it was not only to the men that weren't treated, but to their families. So
I did a dissertation on the women descendants of the syphilis study. I did interview about 10 women, and they were descendants, and so I was able to get some information from those interviews about how their lives may have been impacted, or how the community at large was affected. People were, affected in a lot of different ways. There was a great deal of loss of life. People did die. In some cases, it was passed on by way of the mother to the unborn child that then was born with various types of maladies or deficits or disabilities, sometimes blindness, sometimes mental retardation and things like that.
Here, when I was 2 years old, and I lived here till I was 19, and my great-grandfather and his friends was all part of the syphilis program. And I moved back like 12 years ago from Las Vegas, and this is home again. I was able to meet Miss Rivers. That was the lady and the nurse that actually came out and picked the gentlemen up. Miss Rivers would come and pick the men up possibly about 9 o'clock maybe every 3 months. And Miss Rivers would take them to get examined. That's what they told me. So I can't say exactly they knew what they was getting treated for or he was being examined for. Back in the day, they called it guinea pig. That's the word I used to hear, not saying that was exactly what was going on, but later on, I found out that's what happened.